Hello friends, characteristics of growth. Growth is permanent, increase in size, shape, volume and dry weight of organism. The change due to growth is permanent and irreversible. It is innate means intrinsic means internal process caused by internal activity. It occurs by cell division and cell elongation followed by cell maturation to form different type of tissues. In a plants, the growth is indefinite. In a parts like stem, root and branches, but the other parts like leaves, flower and fruits shows limited growth. In a higher plant, growth is localized. It is restricted to a certain region called meristem. The meristem may be apical meristem or root meristem. This meristem having capacity to divide and produce new cells. See here the growth in a sunflower, the seedling growth takes place to form the plantlet, then it forms the mature plant. Mature plant shows reproductive growth, flowering, and later on the growth remains steady. If we plot the graph versus length of plant to the time, then it will look like this. The graph shows S shape or sigmoid shape. This is called growth curve. See, growth curve as per the time and length is sigmoid. So in this lecture we are going to learning the growth curve and their characteristic features, their phases. So for this purpose you all are welcome in my channel College Botany online free learning. So you are learning the growth curve with Yuvraj. The kinetics is a way to express growth throughout the plant life cycle or in a plant organ or in a cell. To express growth throughout the time in a case of plant, the time factor considered is lifespan, while for an organ or cell is the time required from the formation to the maturation of a cell or organ. Growth kinetics can be use the data of growth rate in all these structures using one of the parameters like length, size, area, volume or dry weight. The kinetics of growth represent the three phases of the growth. There is a difference in a rate of growth process. A. In a case of cell, during cell formation, growth is slow. During cell elongation, growth is rapid, and during cell maturation, again growth rate becomes slow. B. In a case of organ, example leaf, initially the rate of growth is slow, followed by fast growth increasing leaf size, and after maturation the rate becomes slow and finally it gets stopped. C. In a case of herbaceous plant, during its life cycle, the dry weight initially decreases or remain more or less constant. During germination stage, it increases very rapidly, while at a final the dry weight remain constant or decrease during the maturation or senescence phase. In all these cases of a single cell, a single organ or a herbaceous plant, if we plot a graph, we get S-shaped sigmoid curve. Such a curve is characterized by the growth of particular plant. It is called growth curve. The growth curve shows three phases: lag phase, log phase, and stationary phase. Lag phase, log phase, and a stationary phase. So in detail about all these phases, as the lag phase is also called initial growth phase. Log phase is also called exponential phase, while steady phase is also called stationary phase. The lag phase represent initial phase in which the rate of growth is slow. It is formative phase. The cell division phase in which a cytoplasmic material synthesis takes place, formation of genetic material and protein, carbohydrates, protoplasm synthesis takes place, and the cells become mitotically active. The karyokinesis and cytokinesis also takes place in this phase. The second phase is log phase, which is also called exponential phase. It is the second phase in which cell enlargement takes place. In this phase, vacuolization takes place. Stretching or elongation of cell wall also takes place. Therefore, the size of organism or cell increases. A cell division is very fast. It requires large time. The third phase is steady phase or stationary phase. It is cell maturation phase, also called senescence phase. The growth rate becomes slow. During this phase, cell differentiation takes place. There is no addition of new cells and growth remains steady. So this is all about the phases of growth curve. The important characteristic of any living system is reproduction. In the life cycle of a plant, there are three important phases: the germination or seedling phase, vegetative growth phase, and reproductive phase. To maintain continuity of species generation after generation, the seeds are very essential. The seeds are produced in fruits, so the important aspect in the life cycle of a plant is production of fruits and seeds. The seeds and fruits are produced when a plant reaches the reproductive phase in the life cycle. To start the reproductive phase, every plant must complete some definite amount of vegetative phase. After attaining the vegetative phase, then and then only the plant enter in reproductive phase. So during these phases, several physiological, biochemical, histological, morphological changes occur in the body, and these are controlled by external as well as internal factors. All changes together constitute the reproductive growth. When a reproductive growth begins, the growing region shows change over from vegetative growth to the reproductive growth, and the formation of bud takes place, which later on convert into the flower bud, and flower is the main reproductive organ present in the plant. Additional information: the growth is measured with the help of instrument called crystallograph. This crystallograph is invented by Indian scientist Jagdish Chandra Bose, J.C. Bose. So this is all about the growth curve. In coming lecture, we will study the grand period of growth. Thank you. Thank you very much.